next match, hopefully we'll have a bit more to say or have a bit more interest in this one. Shane McMahon, here comes the money! Versus AJ Styles.
The face that runs the place, right?
Yeah.
The champ that ran the camp.
Yeah. Right. Before we get into the match, do we care about this feud?
No. But sometimes you have to accept that a feud is set up for the spectacle of the match as opposed to being set up for the feud.
Yeah.
Then you got to ask, do we care about the spectacle of the match in a weird sadistic way? Because AJ Styles, no question in my mind, the best in the business, in WWE anyway, best in the business, and has been since he came in. That entrance at the Royal Rumble when he came out was amazing if you knew who he was.
Yeah.
If you didn't know who he was, you knew pretty quickly what he was about.
Yeah, I think most fans would probably know who he was.
Not casual fans.
No.
You have to have, either watched TNA or have an eye on Japan or read the dirt sheets or whatever. But if you didn't, it doesn't matter because he's so over as a heel. He is the definition of a heel, doing a good job as a heel with the respect of everyone.
Yeah,
everyone.
He's not a heel. He's not
a tweener is what they would call him. Halfway. He's the face that runs the place.
Yeah.
I mean, he has made SmackDown. And there's talk of him moving to Raw after, and I think they probably should because it will keep him hot.
But he could carry that show. If he's going like you say he is, he could be the face that runs the place for many years to come.
Yeah, they would have to bring some other people over to SmackDown. To run the place at the moment, to be the top guy, they'd have to bring someone over.
Go on,
On the match,
Shane O'Mac.
Okay, so here's what you've got. You've got the best wrestler in the business.
Yep.
Okay, versus a guy who is not a great wrestler.
Yep.
But he is very good at cool spots.
Yeah.
So how do you put those two things together?
In a match which is not a hardcore match or a no DQ match.
Yeah.
Not a cage match, not a ladder match.
You know he's not going to be doing the coast to coast with a bin over the head and stuff like that.
You know he's not going to be falling from the top of a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that the referee has used his discretion because there's a feud that's running. You could easily have the ref knocked down and something pretty cool. But you know he's going to come off the top rope onto the commentary position. That's almost a given, isn't it?
He's going
to do. Yeah,
he's done it.
I know, but
you know what you could do? You could flip it around. You can have Styles returning the favour.
Yeah, it's a waste of Styles. I think that this will be.
Listen, nothing is a waste of Styles.
Well, that's true. Nothing is a waste of Styles. I don't think he weighs enough to go through the table.
Without being disrespectful to AJ Styles, he's put on a bit since he's.
Oh, he's put on bulk. He's not put on.
Yeah.
Listen, what's it going to be? There'll be some cool spots from Shane O'Mac. They'll find a way of getting some of these spots he's known for in. Who knows how? Could they do something on the pre-show where it ends up being no DQ, or where something happens backstage?
True.
Don't forget, Shane O'Mac's still the boss. He can call the shots. Wind up AJ Styles, get in his face, go, you want it like this? We'll do no DQ. Fine, we want no DQ.
No, because Styles beforehand, I think in the go-home, in the contract signing, Styles said to Shane McMahon, "This is a normal match. This isn't where you're."
Doesn't mean they can't do
something.
something. Doesn't mean they can't do something to push him over the edge. They don't normally do that on Mania. They normally stick to the matches, not too much backstage stuff.
Before we make our prediction, there's always the WrestleMania set.
It's going to be you told me before this how many the stadium holds and how many they're having in. So how many? Remind me roughly how many. So
basically, the stadium holds around 65,000 fans.
Yeah, this is the Orange Bowl where Michael's retired, right?
Yep. Okay. But they've reduced the capacity to around 55,000, I believe, to accommodate the entrance.
So there's been a helicopter shot of the set. It is enormous. Even by WrestleMania standards, and they built a roller coaster. The set is to look like a roller coaster.
Well, we know why that is. We'll get onto that towards the end.
Well, it's the ride, isn't it?
Ultimate thrill.
The ultimate thrill ride. which is one of the worst tag names. I think. The only thing that makes the Ultimate Thrill Ride line worse is that we're going to have to listen to Flo Rida at some point during WrestleMania.
Listen, I like Flo Rida.
Yeah, and you're wrong. But here we go. On to the match.
Go on.
There'll be some big spots. It'll look cool. AJ is good enough to make Shane look good. Shane is good enough not to look terrible. AJ Styles at WrestleMania, it'll, Mr. WrestleMania 2. In my opinion, he's just a bit too old to keep going for too long, but this will be pretty fun to watch.
So who's going to win?
I
don't think it matters, does it?
It almost doesn't matter who wins. Who should win? AJ Styles, but the McMahons are the McMahons.
Yeah.
And you never know.
Okay, right. Next match on the card: WWE Raw Women's Championship. A fatal four-way between Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha, and Nia Jax. Okay, do you know what? I'm actually going to start by saying that Charlotte Flair is currently my favourite wrestler on the whole roster, male or female.
That's a big call with some of the people on there.
She is unbelievable, and every time I watch one of her matches, I am blown away.
She is, I wouldn't go that far, but she is definitely keeping that Raw women's picture alive. Sasha Banks is cooled a bit in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Bayley thing is not a long-term, presence and whatever is great, but it's not a long-term fix, the title picture. Nia Jax would have been great if they had kept her quiet. I think that she would have been a great silent. Do you remember Karma, who was Awesome Kong? I never quite worked out why. I know she got pregnant and there were some problems backstage and stuff, but then she came back after that into the Rumble. So I'm never quite sure what they're going to do with Nia Jax. They're going to do this match. They're going to. It doesn't need to be a fatal four-way. They should have picked two people and done a match with.
What have they done with Bayley?
They've just continued the same character she had before.
Yeah, but what they should have done. I'm not really one for fantasy booking. I don't like to do it. I think I'm not. But saying that, if they were going to give her the title, they should have done it at WrestleMania. And it's similar to what they did with Naomi. I understand what you're saying about her injury, which is fine. But with Bayley, they gave it to her too early. Charlotte Flair had this streak, the queen of pay-per-views and whatever.
That is ridiculous. That streak is ridiculous.
They kind of booked her into a corner with that one, and I understand. But if you're going to do it at WrestleMania.
Well, that's true. But in a entertainment medium that we know is fake, the only thing that really matters is streaks. Titles don't matter. Streaks do matter because it means that they've invested in someone long enough. So I would have had her drop the streak at Mania for a big pop, maybe, to Bayley. I think maybe they freaked out because Sasha Banks got injured and they thought they got to get it. I don't know. Do you know what? I really don't know.
They really dropped the ball. Yeah, they really cocked up.
And this throwing Nia Jax in is just pointless.
So going back to what we were saying, I think with the SmackDown division, I actually really like the Raw Women's division at the moment. I think there's enough variety there with some talented wrestlers, and I guess going with what you were saying, I guess Charlotte kind of carries that a little bit. But Sasha's got potential. Nia Jax has got potential. I don't like Bayley.
A lot of people do, and the younger fans do.
I don't dislike her. There's just nothing.
Not everything that they do is aimed at the Attitude Era generation of people. Kids like her, which means she sells merchandise, which means she gets a new audience in. She's relatively inoffensive. She can't wrestle. She was part.
She's very good.
She was part of the Four Horsewomen. What was it? Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, and her in NXT. So they know what they're doing, and they need. You can't just have title matches between the same people. You need people rotating, otherwise it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You can't keep the belt on Charlotte forever.
At least there's more probably active / talented women on the SmackDown roster than
I just
there
think
are the
it's
Raw.
a little. They needed to split it, but it would have been better to keep the roster together. What I am looking forward to is hearing the 2001: A Space Odyssey at WrestleMania again.
Yeah,
because that'll be fun.
Okay.
But, and you know, he's not going to come out, but you know, Flair at Mania.
Look, he might. You know, why not? He's there. He's just got a statue. You know, the least he can do is come out with his daughter.
You know he's there. Yeah, but don't forget, there's the storyline that she turned her back on.
Yeah,
turned her back
true.
on. Could he come out with Bailey or
Sasha Banks again? I don't know.
Maybe.
Does it really matter that
Not
much?
really.
Probably not. Go on. Who's going to win?
Bailey to retain.
Next match, WWE United States Championship between Chris Jericho, who I completely forgot held the title, against Kevin Owens.
So forget the title, because
Yeah.
to be honest, I forgot they had the title. This match will steal the show.
Really?
That's my prediction.
That is a bold statement.
Yeah,
Although
well,
looking at
look
the
at the
rest
rest of the card.
Yeah. What we've got left.
It's a good card, but it's not. There's no show
Yeah.
stealing. This match will steal the show. Jericho is the man. You know, he took the mantra from Shawn Michaels as far as, you know, carrying matches and WrestleManias and what have you.
Yeah.
The build-up's been great. You know, it's a bit pokey, but
Yeah.
he's playing a combination of all his characters over the years, which, you know, is fun for a lot of generations of people watch it. Kevin Owens is brilliant, you know, really, really hot, and doesn't fit that usual mould of WWE superstar, which is great.
No,
It's
he
fun, different. They can both wrestle the socks off anything, and I think this will be a good technical story-told match.
This again. The controversial. I don't see what the big deal is with Kevin Owens. I really don't. He's a great wrestler technically, but for me,
Go and watch Ring of Honor.
I know. But for me, you know, someone who grew up in the Attitude Era, there has to be that whole package.
Name someone from the Attitude Era that has the whole package. I'll put you on the spot now.
The Rock.
Yeah, but at the time of the Attitude Era, for most of the Attitude Era, he couldn't wrestle.
Okay. Whoa. He couldn't wrestle as well as he can today, but he was a damn good wrestler.
Well, he got better over time.
Right. I'll tell you what. The only person I can.
And also, you've named one of the 3 biggest guys that there has ever been.
Okay, but look at someone like Mankind. Okay, Mankind wasn't a great wrestler.
So he didn't have the total package.
Right, but he was a spot monkey, and he was like the hardcore dude.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. But when he had a mic in his hand,
It was great.
my God. And the difference is that Owens can wrestle better than Mick Foley, Mankind. But when he has a mic, I don't feel it as much. Maybe that's
Do you not feel it
because
because of what he was saying?
well,
Because that's the writing, not him.
maybe because this whole festival of friendship and everything that
I thought it
preceded
was
that.
brilliant. I thought it was
I
brilliant.
just thought it was really
The
hokey.
list, and it was a little.
I
bit
don't
hokey,
like.
but-
Oh, don't even get me started. I'm sorry.
The list is meant to make you feel like that.
Yeah, no, I know. And also as someone who, you know, when we grew up with watching, you know, post Attitude Era and the rise of Jericho, he was just another level. And I personally don't like everything he's become. I really don't.
You might not like everything he's become, but let's just take the match as a spectacle. It's going to be a good match. It'll be a good match, and it'll be the end of the feud. And here's my, here's the thing. If what they're saying about Samoa Joe, Triple H, and him is, don't assume that this won't be like a run-in finish.
Yeah.
Don't assume that you won't see. It depends where it lies on the card, but you could see a run-in from Joe in both matches, which is what brings those two things together at Mania. He could be the common element, and you could see, as a result, what are we in now? What month's it now? You know, we're going to April, so May, June, July. You know, you could see going into SummerSlam. You know, long build, maybe Jericho, Balor, and a few others together versus those 3.
Jericho's gone. He's going to be touring with Fozzy.
Is that definitely? I think he's toured with Fozzy before and still came back and done.
No, I think he's setting up for a tour with Fozzy.
Maybe.
I think
In which case, I would expect
let's-
a clean finish with Kevin Owens.
I think there has to be a clean finish with this, or at least a final nail in the coffin. So
if that's the case, then it will be. But if not, and he's going to be around for a bit, I would expect that not expect, but possibly that Samoa Joe connection to bring those three people together for this new stable, whatever it is. And you could easily have one of the new guys turning up on Raw and quickly become part of that stable. Someone from NXT, a Bobby Roode maybe. It won't be, but he would fit that mold.
All I can say to that is, book it in, man. Right, whew. Mark, we're getting closer and closer to the end. We've only got 3 more matches left. Okay, I have to say thank you so much for going through these with me. Right, the next one is we'll leave the 2 title matches to the end. So the final non-title match, the Dead Man versus the Guy, or the Big Dog, or whatever you want to call him. Undertaker versus Roman Reigns.
Why?
Yeah, not much of a build up to this one. Undertaker has to have a match at Mania because he's the Undertaker.
Well, also, you never know which one's going to be his last one. By the way, they're saying this will be his last one. They say that every year, and every year, apparently he was really beat up after the Rumble.
Did you? Ridiculous question. Did you see him in the Rumble?
Yeah.
Embarrassing. Utterly embarrassing.
But let me remind you of something. 2 or 3 WrestleManias ago, he was embarrassing. He was in terrible shape. Last year, he looked great again.
But we've seen him since. We've seen him at the Royal Rumble, and he looked like with all due respect, I mean, I'm no, Slim Jim, but he looked like a fat old guy.
Well, he probably is a bit of a fat old guy now, but that doesn't mean the spectacle of him at Mania won't still be amazing.
But the spectacle's just really now, surely, with his entrance.
The WWE haven't come to terms with, okay, this happened with Hogan. They had to get used to what is WWE without Hogan. They need to get to a point where they're comfortable with the WWE after Taker at WrestleMania, and they're not there yet. And he's presumably not there yet because he keeps saying he'll do another match. There's a few matches that should have happened that didn't happen. After this, there's only one match really that should happen that hasn't, which is him and Cena. Who knows what will actually happen going forwards?
Yeah.
The build-up has not been that great.
Almost non-existent, really.
Well, yeah, they did the Royal Rumble thing. They did the build-up. A little bit of a build there. The build-up would be better if they could get what they want out of Roman Reigns, but the problem is every time he walks out, he gets booed out of this building. There's a few potential finishes that I've got in my head, but no one really knows what's going to happen. Clean loss for the Taker, takes all the air out. It's one thing Lesnar beating him because he's a legit badass, in and out of the WWE world.
Yeah.
Reigns is not. Reigns gets a lot of stick. He's works hard. You hear stories about him being like, you talk about Ronaldo in football. He's the first guy training, the last guy.
Yeah.
Apparently Roman Reigns is like that.
There's nothing wrong with Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, it's the same as people started booing Cena in the first place. I understand, people aren't against Reigns, they're against the booking of Reigns. They're against the fact that Reigns is Vince's guy.
They're against the idea of having to go through the whole Cena thing again with someone else.
Yeah.
Reigns is better at this stage than Cena was at that stage.
Yeah.
But it is what it is now. They are not booing him in Kurt Angle, like we said earlier. John Cena time. They are genuinely booing him. So I think they've got to try and turn him.
I have to say, even when we were watching the Rumble this year, and he came out at 30 again, and I'm not someone who just sort of goes and starts booing people but even when he came out at 30, I just went, oh come on!
I heard or I read things that were saying the reason they brought him out at 30 was so that Orton didn't get booed when he won the Rumble, so it was almost like a semi-face win at the Rumble.
Wow.
So it took all the heat off of that, which is obviously set up for a match we'll talk about in a minute.
Do you care about this match? Do you care about Taker Reigns?
I don't care about the feud. I don't care about the match. I am massively intrigued to see how they book the finish. Whoever the agent is, and it will be, Vince will be involved in it, but whoever the agent is that books the finish, they will have to be very clever to get this right, because two Taker losses at Mania is not, I lost to the beast of a generation.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know.
So very quickly on that, I don't think it is going to be his last match, because
No.
if you look at like Flair or Michaels, they know when it's going to be their last match. They make a deal out of it.
He's always said he didn't want to make a deal out of it, which is what. But he loves to keep the mystique. He lives the character. When he goes and throws the first pitch out of baseball matches, he's in like dead man gear next to Michelle McCool, who's dressed in her jeans. You know, you don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Who's going to win?
Taker's got to win. Taker's got to give him the respect. He's got to drop Taker. That last bit might not happen, but you can't have Taker lose to Roman Reigns. Even the WWE must see that.